And I think generally what you often hear in terms of messages, you know, when we hear about acts of worship, we hear about Jesus' most incredible act of worship when he surrendered to the will of his Father on the cross.
Right.
We hear about the alabaster box being broken open. There's so many. I have to say that my favorite actually at the moment, and that varies depending on where you are in the Word, would be the life of Hannah. In the Old Testament, who was a worshiper of God and who was a very disappointed woman. She was infertile. She pleaded with God for years for a child. She was tormented by the other wife, Peninnah.
Right.
And you would think that this woman would have withdrawn from God, that she may have become bitter. She
Right.
did. She pushed into God all the more, and never let go of the Lord, to the point where, you know, she went to the temple and Eli saw her and assumed she was drunk. And you see this incredible contrast of Eli and his wicked sons, who were the priests, who should have been the worshipers, and this woman who was so bereft and saddened at what God had not yet accomplished in her life. And she was actually the true worshiper. She promised her son to God, and not only did she do that, she made good on the promise when her son was born and weaned.
Yeah.
What an act of worship to give that child up to the Lord. And that child became an influencer of kings.
Yeah.
And so I love that story so much, because I see this extraordinary woman who gave everything that she had so desperately wanted
Yes.
for the Lord. And he became a history changer.
Yes.
When Israel was in sharp decline, Samuel changed everything.
Yes. Absolutely.
And you even hear Hannah's words in her. She has this Magnificat, kind of like Mary. And you see those words echoed in the Psalms by King David himself. So her worship influenced King David, who was a worshiper of God.
Yes.
So I think that's a pretty great story. It's going up there with my favorites.